Good morning, guys. My name is David Ramos. Thank you. I am a chef. To be honest, whenever Freddie told me to come and talk about this, I had no idea what to say. Even whenever he was sitting down and he was trying to sell me on the idea of getting in front of everybody and saying these and talking about invest. I was like, well, one, Freddie, I'm not rich, really not the greatest with money, and it's just like I don't really know what to say, but I'm here. It took some time to think about what the word actually means to me. I've been probably the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've been asking people, what does invest mean to you? And trying to figure out, maybe somebody's going to tell me, open the box for me. And we're like, oh, I got it, But to everybody, it's always means something different to everybody. So I would ask, if anybody wants to raise their hand, what does invest mean to them? To plant? I like that. Time and effort. For me, it means the easiest way to do it, for me to explain it, is to put a seed or to plant something. It's because I don't have much money to invest into companies or whatnot. So what I do is I invest my love into somebody. And whatever I do, regardless if it's somebody that I meet to a nonprofit to where I work at, I always try to invest my love into it. And so that's what it means. That's what it means to me. Honestly, I'm not the best at it because I mess up a lot, but I think that's just me. That's just me being human. But let me tell you a little bit about how I was invested into, which made me as a person who I am. And you have to understand that this was probably about 7th to 9th grade, so my wisdom at that time was probably not the best, being an adolescent kid. And really, his name is Milton Simmons. Milton Simmons, he was great at all sports. He was a nice guy. He taught me how to be a hard worker. He taught me a lot about baseball, a lot about football, and he was just one of my dad's friends, and that's who I took him as. And he's like, oh, wow, he's going to invest his time, his love, his wisdom into me. And from that, I thought that's what made me as a person. But I didn't realize what Milton's background was. I didn't realize that he was an alcoholic. I didn't realize that he struggled with drug addiction. I didn't know that he would cheat on his wife. I didn't know any of these things because I was a kid and I just didn't, and I didn't realize that. But it was my father that invested his love, his time, his wisdom into Milton, which allowed Milton to turn around and invest it into me. So whatever you invest your time, your love, your money, or whatever, it will come back. You may not see it come back, but it will blossom into something so that person can turn around and pass it on to the next person. And so that's what I've learned from Milton. But really, it's just then I really started to really think about investing, and then I started to think about my family, and then I've realized that it's my parents have been investing in people my whole entire life. It's just I just never really knew it. One of the times when I left the house, whenever I told my mom and dad I'm moving out, I'm out, and they turned around and literally it seemed like overnight that they moved somebody into my room. And it's like I didn't even have a chance. I didn't have a chance to come back. Usually parents change the locks or move. They don't tell the kid or something, So it's like I would come home and be like, okay, I'm gonna wash clothes, and who's this living in my room? What did you do to my room? My room's an office? What's going on? But from there, a organization called Elijah Rising was started. Elijah Rising is an anti-traffic organization. And so a lot of my investment, and I didn't realize it, that a lot of it comes from my parents. A lot of me having a big heart or loving people, it comes from my parents, that they showed me, inadvertently, it showed me how to love people. And so that allowed me to know how to love, or how to plant seeds, or how to be able to invest into people and not really know when it comes back. And honestly, I used to get frustrated, is because I would do so much for people, and then I would get angry, is because I never would see it come back. And then it took me some time to realize, like, well, you're investing in the wrong way. If you're doing it for that, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. It's not about getting back or making you feel better as a person. It's about making the community better, making everybody feel better. It's like another ways that I've invested is befriending people. I used to work here. We at PaperCo, they have a homeless outreach program, and so what I would do is I would take it a little bit further. I would hire homeless people. I would hire them, befriend them. I've learned that homeless people, they just want to be friends. They just want to be a normal person. I've met plenty of homeless people to be able to see that there was a guy named E. I gave him his first job, 20 years old, and I thought, man, you're 20 years old, you're for your first job, you don't even know how to do it. I helped him fill out an application. I'm like, no, I'm hiring you. I'll help you fill it out, and I went from seeing him get his first apartment to seeing him get his first TV to him inviting us over, like all the crew over, because there's a Pacquiao fight, and him being excited, and we're like, hey, y'all bring pizza, I got this, and he was just happy just to have it, and the guy didn't have any furniture. He didn't ever had an apartment, so it's like we're just sitting around like, all right, we're holding pizza boxes and standing around, but it was perfectly fine. It's because that was the beginning of his journey. One of the times that he came up to me, I could see that he was scared, and I was like, E, what's wrong? And he was like, well, I don't want to make you mad, but I got to quit. I was like, well, why? What's up? He's like, I got a better job. I got a better job to go work in this kitchen and to go do this. And I was like, well, good for you. And he's like, you're not mad? I was like, no. I was like, this isn't where you're supposed to be. This is just the beginning of your race. This is just the beginning. I don't want you to stay here. I want you to, go and do something better and be a better person. And yeah, he's messed up a couple of times. Yes, he calls me at odd hours of the night, and I sit there and talk to him for, I don't know if he's either drunk or, or just wants to talk. But he knows that he can call me. And most of my friends, they know that they can call me, because I'm the crazy guy that somebody calls me at 3 o'clock in the morning because they decided to go see the stars at the beach, and their truck gets stuck. And so I'm the guy that goes, all right, I'll be there. I don't have a truck, but I got a shovel, and I know I can help you get out. I worked at a boys' home, and seeing the boys be broken, just be jaded, or 8 years old and being already jaded of life, and teaching them, I call it macho mama love. It's because they want to be macho. They don't want to see all the other boys at the house cry. They don't want to see them hurt. They don't want to see that part of them that, that they try to, tuck away. And so I teach them macho mama love, and teach them that machos cry. Teach them that, hey, I was young, I was angry at the world, I made terrible life decisions, but I'm here, and you can be here, and just teach them that it's okay. This is just I call them mountains. It's just a mountain that you have to climb, that I'll tell them. And I was like, whenever you get onto the top of it and you get over it, then you'll realize that it wasn't even a mountain, it was just a hill. And then that prepares you for your next trial in life. And so I just try to teach that, try to teach Teach them that it's okay to mess up. It's okay. Just, it's just about love, for me. If you know me, I'm not supposed to be up here. I am a terrible, terrible speaker. I get terrified of speaking in front of people. I usually stick my hands in my pocket. This is a comfort zone that my mother we would go shopping, and she would stick your hands in your pocket. You're gonna break something. So this is my comfort zone. And but it's, I keep going back when I was thinking about the word invest. I was thinking about courage. I keep going back to this word courage. And so I started to look up the word courage. And in Latin, courage is curd, which means heart. They would only use it whenever people would be speaking and telling a heartfelt story. And so it takes me a lot of courage to be up here, and it makes me very vulnerable to be up here, is because I'm usually behind the kitchen. I'm a behind the scenes type of guy. You never see me. But I'm up here. I'm doing this because this is what I teach the kids to, hey, you got to get in the game. You got to get yourself there, so I'm here to do it. And I would like to challenge us, or maybe just challenge myself, to have the courage to be able to invest love into somebody. Invest, even if we challenge, even if it's just for the weekend, find somebody to be able to invest some love into somebody, to be able to allow them to invest their love into you. Allow them to see probably the side of you that you keep hitting away, you tuck away, or you try to keep numb, is because it could be as simple as having a cup of coffee and just talking to somebody and be able to say, I'm here, I hear you, I see you, or vice versa, or, you wanting to be heard or you wanting to be seen. And so that's my challenge for y'all, and I try, and most of the time most of my challenges is me trying to challenge myself to hey, get out of your comfort zone, get on the stage, talk to people, tell them your story, what I've learned from my father, and he taught me this a long time ago, and just to let my father know that I was listening to him, and I do pay attention sometimes. But he taught me a long time ago to allow yourself to be loved and allow love to come back to you. And he used the analogy of a baby. Whenever you stick your hand in front of a baby, the baby will grab a hold of that finger. And the baby will grab a hold of the finger with 100% of joy or 100% of rage, just depending if the baby's teething or not. So watch yourself. But it's really to keep things new. Allow things to be not have yourself hardened by life. To keep things new and really just to love. Be happy to be happy. Be happy that it's a beautiful day outside, that it's only 40 or 50 degrees outside and we don't have snow and there's not ice on the ground. Is because nobody would be here, because apparently we can't drive on the ice. But really, it's my thing is I love, and if the only thing that y'all get out of this today is me sharing love to y'all, I just want y'all to know that you are made to be loved and you are made to share your love. And so I'll leave you with this quote from Maya Angelou. I have learned that people will forget what you say. I have learned that people will forget what you have did. I have learned that people will remember how you make them feel. So I invest my love into you. If you have any questions or anything, if you have any organizations that you want me to be a part of, I am always a good sucker to do anything.